Yo, what's going on, LGU and my channel? I got a special guest with me today. Please introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? This is ShortBus, aka ShortBusBalla's. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, second time's a charm.
Actually, yeah, it's been more like what, 9?
Oh man, what have you been up to, man, so far?
Just getting ready to leave for the army. That's about it. I've been working out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been working out, get myself in shape for the army.
Putting oil on your chest.
Pretty much, just fucking lubing up the chains, man. Getting shaking the rust off for those past 5 or 6 months of gaming.
Shit, I thought you. How do you look now? Like, did you go from Wings of Redemption to fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in 3 months?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go as far as saying Wings of Redemption. I'm sure if he sat on me, I'd probably die. But I actually really haven't changed much physically. I don't know if you watch my vlog. That's how I look normally. I don't know. Just I really haven't changed much physically. Just a little bit of muscle here and there. I think I gained probably I don't know a couple pounds of muscle, but overall haven't really changed much. Definitely not a Wings of Redemption type of guy. I'm not
Yeah.
that big.
Well, since we're going on a gaming channel or whatever, let's talk a little bit about gaming. Battlefield 3. What are your thoughts on the game by far right now?
Battlefield 3. Um, when I first got it, I was blown away. It really was
True.
cornerstone, top notch. Shit I've never experienced. But I don't know. My interest in gaming, to be perfectly honest, has diminished overall. So
Yeah.
I guess you could say I lost interest. Then again, I guess you can't really say that because my interest in gaming in a whole has diminished. It's not anything against Battlefield. But one thing that I have found about Battlefield that I don't like is it seems more so in Battlefield 3 you need a team in order to have any level of success and or fun. I play by myself. I don't have an Xbox headset anymore. I fucking destroyed mine because I'm a retard like that. But I got mad while I was doing some army stuff and I just split it apart because I have very low impulse control apparently. But um, I don't have a headset anymore, so I usually play by myself just because I can't communicate with anybody. And one thing I noticed by playing by myself, not squad stomping like I used to back in Bad Company 2, is that it's almost impossible to have fun. Either you're stuck with a team that sits back and snipes, or you're stuck with a team that doesn't spawn and they wait for the chop, or they get shot down and lather rinse repeat. It honestly seems like if you play by yourself, you're set up for failure.
What about like the maps and the weapons? Is there anything you've noticed that's a problem in Battlefield 3 as far as that goes? Because I've noticed like the maps coming from Bad Company 2, they seem to be more, what's the word, choke pointy than they should be, for a game that's supposed to be a wide or battlefield.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I was actually getting ready to say something along the lines of that. Bad Company 2, it seemed, there honestly there was some maps, where you could mark me down for saying this, but
Yeah.
it seems overall in Battlefield 3, the maps are set up for straight up defense. If you don't believe me, Seine Crossing. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's like Seine Crossing with that bridge. It's almost impossible to get by just because if there's a couple enemy snipers and light machine guns set up, you're not getting by, especially if they have a tank or something. Now, I don't know if you get a tank on defense, but
No.
Op Metro, Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to get into that because I don't want to start crying over dual commentary. But Operation Metro is a fucking train wreck. Granted, it's cool when you're on the team that's spawn trapping, but when you're on the other team, it is just beyond a nightmare. It's your worst fucking reality. Yeah, so just the choke points and assault really doesn't have any problems. I've found engineer really doesn't have any problems. Support, I think the unlimited claymores are a bit of a
Contradiction.
yeah. Unlimited claymores is a bit of an issue. Same thing with C4. I think you should be limited to how much you get. And mortars as well. I think have 10 mortars or something like that. That will balance it out. In the recon, yeah. There's definitely a big problem with recon. I don't know if they patched it because I haven't played the game in a while, but the MAV or the personal recon drone One thing I found about this is
It's
it
stupid
not no
the way people use it.
yeah it would be awesome. It would be balanced and perfect if it was actually used as a recon drone. You know, you sit up high and you spot people and feed your team intelligence. But one thing I found, now I'm not gonna be polite to that. Everybody uses the MAV, almost everybody. They don't use it as a recon drone. They use it as a pancake machine. Okay, they fly up high. They see some unsuspecting foe, and they just go barreling down towards them and crush them into the ground. And every action has a reaction. You know, what's your reaction to that you try to shoot down? One thing I found is that I don't know what it is, the differences between Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, but it seems like shooting at the personal recon drone or the UAV or the MAV, whatever you want to refer to it as, in Bad Company 2 it was much easier. I don't know what it is, but I have had light machine guns and assault rifles and fucking pistols shooting at the MAV at like 10 feet away from me, and I can't seem to hit it. I mean, granted, the javelin could take it out, but you shouldn't have to use a fucking $130,000 missile to take out something that probably costs $20,000 to make. I mean, granted, it's a video game, but you know what I'm saying.
Now, one thing I've noticed, besides like all the Call of Duty people love Operation Metro for some fucking reason, I don't know why, but they kind of made Battlefield 3. It's still a good game. They made it in a way that people who didn't know how to play Battlefield, they could just pick it up. Like when you first picked up Bad Company 2 and you didn't know, like it was your first Battlefield game, you got your ass kicked. I mean,
Hmm.
you didn't know about recoil and stuff like that, but when you come out to Battlefield 3, you can get the FAMAS easy as hell, no recoil, or the F2000 no recoil. And it's just like I see people in other videos who've never played a Battlefield game and this their first game, and they can just go full auto with any gun and get a kill if size have. I've never seen a burst fire from anybody who just picked up a Battlefield 3. I don't even know what that's all about.
Well, I actually kind of disagree with you on that one. One thing I found about Battlefield is that the recoil, at least from what I've seen in the M16 and 74M, if you go full auto, it seems at least to me, if you go full auto, I'm not gonna hit shit. So I found with M16 or the AK-74M or whatever assault rifle I'm using, even the light machine guns for that matter, if you go full auto, you're not gonna hit the guy. I personally have to burst fire. It may be different. I don't know how, but I just found that when I burst fire or single shot, I seem to do consistently better than full auto. But then again, I've been playing Battlefield since I started playing Bad Company 1. Not much. I played maybe like a day's worth. But I played a lot of time in Bad Company 2. So I guess I've been conditioned and trained to have that mindset where I burst fire and single shot. If somebody came from Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops and they jump onto Battlefield 3, well, Black Ops is a different story, honestly, but I'm just going to keep
Yeah,
it the same example. If they come from a Call of Duty game, go straight to Battlefield 3, their first instinct is to just full auto, right?
yeah.
And I guess if you do that for a while, you will have some success because sooner or later the bullets will hit them. But I personally found that I can't hit shit in full auto, so
Have you used it with the FAMAS?
no. See,
See what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
The things like the FAMAS and the F2000, they don't have any recoil or anything. I don't know if you like ever watched the El Presidor El Presidor video where he's playing Battlefield, right?
I don't. I used to watch him back. I think it was Modern Warfare 2 when he used to scream a lot, but I don't know. I don't watch that much anymore.
Well, imagine if a guy's going full auto, not aiming down sight, still getting the kill. I don't. Yeah, that's basically what Battlefield has turned into, sort of like.
Is the
mm,
FAMAS really that good?
I mean, imagine it from Black Ops, but you can go full auto and you can get double kills and triple kills without even trying.
Yeah, I haven't used the FAMAS, so that may be true. I'm not sure, but wow. If the FAMAS is really that good, I'm kind of glad I don't play anymore because I can imagine everybody's using it.
Yeah, people have turned into FAMAS holes. But let's get off Battlefield. Let's get off Battlefield. Uh, Modern Warfare 3. I don't have it. You have it.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
um, well, my honest opinion, or you want the?
Yeah, honest opinion.
Okay. Modern Warfare 3 is a fucking train wreck. Um, yeah, there we go. And the story. Let's move on to something else.
People gonna say like, oh man, you're a Battlefield fanboy. You don't like Call of
Okay,
Duty because you know what I'm saying?
all right. Let me explain. Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer is a fucking train wreck. I don't know what they did to change the formula for Modern Warfare 2, and I'm gonna explain that right now. Actually, my personal opinion, hands down, Modern Warfare 2, fundamentally, and the I don't want to say the basic because the noob tubes are in there, but fundamentally, Modern Warfare 2, hands down, was the best Call of Duty ever invented. It was smooth, hit detection was amazing, the sound system was amazing. Everything was perfect in that game. Granted, it had its problems with the noob tubes and the commando and the fucking quick scoping, but hands down, when you go back to the basics and fundamentally and how the game operates and works and sounds, looks, and feels, Modern Warfare 2 was a beautiful, beautiful game. And when Modern Warfare 3, obviously everybody knew this game was coming sooner or later, but when they started hyping the game up to the audience, so the Call of Duty audience, they were talking about how it has the gameplay mechanics of Modern Warfare 2, but the feel of Call of Duty 4. And I was like, okay, this sounds cool. When I actually got the game and played it for a little bit, I wanted my money back because it's nothing like Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4. Um, just how the game operates, they fucking lied. Obviously, the hit detection is terrible. Though I don't know if the lag compensation is good or bad. I don't play this game multiplayer that much anymore. Though just the lag is terrible. Hit detection is terrible. The guns just don't feel right. I mean, all the guns are pieces of shit. I've noticed. All right, well, let me rephrase that. At least in my hands, are pieces of shit. I can't seem to kill anybody, even if their back's turned to me. I'm gonna try to do this really quick. But one thing I've found that Call of Duties have been doing since day one is every game has its OP, right? Its OP weapon. Call of Duty 4 had the M16. World of War had MP40. Modern Warfare 2 had the UMP45 slash M16 slash FAMAS. The noob tubes commando and quick scoping, obviously. Black Ops had the FAMAS where they nerfed its balls off. So the 74E rapid fire. In this game, it's funny because in Modern Warfare 2, the OP weapon was the UMP45. So everybody was like, gotta nerf the UMP45. Can't make it a beast anymore. So, okay, we got this, guys. Don't worry. So they chopped the balls off the UMP45 in Modern Warfare 3. But they bring in a new weapon, two new weapons, that are so fucking retardedly good that they make the UMP45 from Modern Warfare 2 look like a fucking baby in a crib. MP7, you can have extended mags rapid fire, and that thing is just an instant death machine. Type 95 is better than any M16 in any previous game. Um, it just they patch previous titles weapons, and then they bring something 10 times worse. It's actually kind of funny. I'm about to quote something. In Modern Warfare 2 single player, I think it was the first mission. They say when you kill the leader or something like that, they're talking about Zakhaev. They killed Zakhaev, and somebody worse fills his shoes. They killed the UMP, and the MP7 takes its place. They killed the M16 in Modern Warfare 3. They're bringing the Type 95. That has fucking rapid fire. I mean, really, what the fuck were they thinking? Rapid fire on an assault rifle? I mean, I think they deliberately and purposely do this shit just cater to the people that fucking blow in this game. And the fucking striker don't give me. Oh my god, don't get me started.
Hey, you can thank my boss. Well, not really boss because I'm not getting paid because this is going up on LG. You can thank Physicals for that one, but he said he made those videos about the Striker because he wanted them to nerf it because it was so overpowered. But you know how Call of Duty is with nerfing, they got around to it never wary, and people just looked at his great videos and just kept using it. So it kind of like steamballed off of his videos, and people just started being Skarker assholes.
Yeah,
If I'm saying that correct.
kind of like the Wings of Redemption Danger Close. Remember that one? Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember that with the AT4? He's like, I found something awesome, and then a week later, everybody's fucking using it. Oh my god. There's some things are better to just keep in the dark. Yeah, a couple people know about it, but just keep the shit on the down low, like a black guy that's gay in Georgia or something. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
I
But just some things are better to keep on the down low rather than put it out in the light like that, hoping it gets patched. Because realistically, They made the money off this game. They don't give two shits. They're gonna make some bullshit patch to try to appease the audience, and if it doesn't work, they're like, "Fuck you, don't care, peace, got your."
8 months. It's 8 months. I mean, what? I mean, whatever. But people say Call of Duty it kind of fell off when they took out stopping power, which I don't agree with. But I kind of think it's really the theater mode that's kind of fucking up the game. They want new players to like, oh man, look what I did, and all this bullshit, and it's kind of fucking up the hit detection.
I actually, I'm not too sure about theater mode, but I actually disagree with you on that one. Um, I personally believe that they fucked up with Call of Duty when they took stopping power out. And here's my theory. Do you have
Okay.
anything to add real quick? Because this may be a long one.
I just gotta listen to this because I think stopping power it was like one of the worst perks in Call of Duty because it just dominated. Nobody picked. I never saw anybody else using anything but stopping power. But go ahead, play.
Okay. Yeah, and here's my reaction to that. Not my reaction, here's my response to that. And this may be a long one, so strap your seatbelts in. Okay.
False.
Modern Warfare 2 has stopping power, World of War, COD 4, whatever. They all had stopping power, right? Everybody used stopping power. That you just said it. Everybody used it. Everybody used stopping power, which left very little. What's the word I'm looking for? Very little change in gameplay overall. But what they had is they had a couple tiers. I like to call it, not the perk itself, but they had a couple different categories you could run. You could be the stop and power guy, you could be the stealth guy, or you could be the hardline guy. Or here's my theory on this.
Yep.
Yes, everybody used stop and power, but here is what made those days so good. If you wanted to hide from enemy air support or UAVs, you had to use cold blooded. Okay, which in
Yeah.
turn means you sacrifice stop and power. Which means that if you got in a gunfight one on one with the guy with stop and power, obviously there's different factors like weapons and attachments, but overall, if a guy with stop and power and a guy with not stop and power got in a gunfight, guy with stop and power 9 times out of 10 would win. But the advantage the cold blooded guy had, staying off the UAV, he could blindside him, but the guy with cold blooded can move around the map freely. Okay, that essentially makes the mini map worthless to anybody that's on the other team. Okay, and then the cold blooded guy can sneak up behind him and kill him. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're using cold blooded, you sacrifice stopping power, but you get to move around the map freely, and you have a little bit more breathing room. With stopping power, you don't. If somebody calls in a Harrier, you have to go inside. It's just when they had that system working, had that perfect balance. When they took out stopping power, here's where I noticed that Call of Duty went downhill. When they took out stopping power, obviously, and other commentators have said this, I'm not saying anything new, but when they took out stopping power, they they brought they still had the stealth perk. Stopping power was eliminated, the stealth perk was still there. So obviously, everybody and their grandmother is going to use the stealth perk. Okay, they have the perks of Cold Blooded from Modern Warfare 2 or any prior game, with the baked in version of stopping power because everybody essentially has stopping power now. It's gone. So it's all about weapons and connection. So everybody used the stealth perk, which in turn slowed the game down. Black Ops TDM would take, God, what, 7 minutes maybe on average. I can imagine it was over 5 minutes for a TDM in Black Ops. Modern Warfare 2, that shit was gone in 2-3 minutes, maybe even four. Okay, and the reason why was because everybody used stopping power, which means when somebody called in the UAV, that UAV in Modern Warfare 2 had more value than it did in Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3. So, that's just a general premise. When they took out stopping power, the only other solution, the only other option really that was worth using was the stealth perk. And when you call in the UAV and the entire enemy team's running assassin or blind eye, granted they kind of they went the right direction with splitting those two in half. But when everybody's using blind eye assassin and
Well,
calling UAV, bam.
you said they made a good decision by putting Blind Eye and Assassin in different perks. So I thought it would
No,
be better if they put them in like the same ones.
no, because that that essentially would recreate Ghost because Ghost and Black Ops. It
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Like if people had to choose, if let's say like Assassin is in the second tier slot.
Yeah.
If Blind Eye was in the same one, they can only choose between blind eye and assassin.
Yeah,
But right now
yeah,
they can choose
yeah.
between blind eye and assassin.
Yeah, that would be good
They,
if they had it in the same tier. They would either have to choose. And some of the commentary actually said that. I don't know who, but if they had to choose between air support or UAV, that would be good. But
okay.
they fucked up with that one. So
Bad Company 2. Have you went back there lately?
no. In a nutshell, no. I jumped on probably twice since Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3 were released. I had a lot of fun just because it was simplified. The weapons, I really don't know how to describe it. It was a lot of fun, but I haven't played video games in a while, so no, not really.
Or I know why. In case you guys didn't know, Short Bus, he's going to be taking a trip down a long road for like 4 to 6 months, maybe
More than 6 months, bro.
more than 6 months. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, not recently, it was about 8 months ago. I enlisted into the United States Army. Um, it's it's kind of surreal to say this, but I remember when I enlisted, my nephew was born, and they said you had roughly 8 months until you ship, and I was like, damn, it's gonna take forever. But here I am. A couple of weeks from now, I'll be leaving. It's kind of hard to believe.
Oh man, I mean, I know, I know you're gonna miss your family and stuff, but why did you decide to, enlist, in the first place?
It's kind of a touchy subject, but if you want me to be straight up and honest, I'll be. I can just give you a generic, response. I want to serve my country, but honestly, I guess I'll get a little bit into it. Ever since I was roughly, my parents got divorced. I was like 11 or 12, and I lived with my dad in Detroit for the longest time, a couple years, probably around 3 to 4 years. We lived in the ghetto, and it was not a pretty sight. My cousins turned to a life of crime and knocking chicks up, not taking care of them, and just all my dad's family was pretty much the scum of the earth. I love my father, my grandmother, and my aunt to death, but everyone else was just the scum of the earth. Um, having kids, not taking care of them, doing drugs, going to jail, all this other shit. And I realized, granted, I had my little moments in middle school where I wanted to be a rapper or whatever, listen to BET and all that shit, but
BT. Ugh.
yeah, don't ask me why, but I had my little moment where I was wanting to live the thug life, or whatever. But when my cousins started fucking up and they started living this life, because my cousins were pretty much a darker version of me. Not my cousin, darker version of me. But when he got older and he got sucked into the life and how his life turned out, and how it is now, he's actually getting ready to go to jail or prison, and I just realized I don't want that for my life. I want to make something of myself. And when I was trying to join the Navy, and when I went and took my ASVAB test for the Navy, I was never really good at school until I moved in with my dad. My dad was that old school kind of, you respect your elders, you do good in school, open doors from girls, just the old school kind of guy, right? And when I moved in with him, I wasn't really that good at school until I moved in with him. And he started, essentially, he started beating my ass when I was, started fucking up at school and stuff. And he really turned my life around. I started getting real good grades at high school. And, but when I took my ASVAB test for the Navy, I thought I was going to bomb it because, for 2/3 of my schooling career, I guess that doesn't make any sense. But, 2/3 of my school time, I was being a little asshole. I wasn't trying. But when I took my ASVAB test, I got a pretty good score. I got a 72, average out to 71. It's a pretty average score, but I got a 71, 72. And when I got that score, because I wanted to, I'm not going to get in that, but I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to go in and just do whatever. When I got that score, I really opened up my eyes that I can make something of myself. I could do something that can set up the foundation for my life. And the Navy didn't work out, so I talked to the Army, got a really good job in the Army. And I'm really happy that I moved with my dad and he straightened my life around. I'm happy I joined the Army. Granted, I'm not in yet, but I got a really good job. And in a nutshell, to answer your question one more time, I joined the military because I want to set up my life to be something rather than a life of bullshit and knocking chicks up and stuff like that.
That's always something good to have. You just don't have to fight in the army. You can uh oh my god, I'm fucking up the words, but you can oh goddamn. When I was in the army, I don't even know why I applied besides like I wanted to kill people. I mean, but I guess that's not really a good reason and stuff like that to join a organization like that. So, you know,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little.
yeah, that's
That's kind of what's the word? A little
psycho.
homicidal, just a
Yeah,
little.
that's
I'd be
yeah.
careful. Maybe the FBI is probably watching your house now.
Nah, that I think not. I think they probably look at that video. What? This like motherfucker. I'm out of this bitch. Where's the porno? Where's the porno, Johnson? You promised me porno. Well, anyway, I think that we're probably gonna wrap it up right here.
All right.
Uh, so anyway, it's OJ for LGU signing out. Short bus.
Thanks for having me, OJ, and I'll talk to you guys later. So peace. Short us out.